Did you know that over 70% of a child's emotional regulation is shaped by the environment they grow up in? That means that how we parent matters deeply, especially when we understand our child's emotional wiring through their moon sign. In today's video, we're diving into how to nurture Aries, Capricorn, Cancer, and Libra Moon children with wisdom, empathy, and astrology-backed insights. Whether your child is bold and independent or sensitive and nurturing, you'll walk away from this video with powerful strategies for each moon sign. I will also cover how the emotional states of the nervous system connect to secure attachment and how we can use those states to also speak the language of your child's moon. But first, welcome to my channel. I'm your intuitive astrologer, Brandy Kahn. I approach astrology from a psychological lens due to my educational background. And as the homeschooling mother of my 4 children for the past 15 years, I'm super passionate about helping other parents to custom design their parenting approach based on their child's natal chart. My signature program, the Stellar Parent Method, is a comprehensive 5-week program where you learn more about yourself as a parent, you learn about who your child is meant to be, and you learn about how you energetically fit together. Also, the program includes a session where we rewire your limiting subconscious beliefs so that you can be the parent that you are meant to be. If you'd like to work with me, please visit my website at brandycon.com. Let's begin with the nervous system. And first, we're going to talk about the autonomic nervous system, which is the part of our nervous system that controls automatic functions in our bodies, like heart rate, blood pressure, digestion, breathing, and emotional responses. The autonomic nervous system and attachment styles are deeply connected because our early relationships really shape how our nervous system learns to regulate safety, connection, and stress. From birth, a child's autonomic nervous system adapts based on their caregiver's responsiveness. If a child consistently experiences safety and attunement, their nervous system develops patterns that support secure attachment. However, if a child experiences inconsistency, neglect, or fear, their autonomic nervous system learns adaptive survival strategies that can later shape their attachment style. And this is where polyvagaltheory comes into play. According to polyvagaltheory, there are 3 states of the nervous system that play a role in our emotional expression. The first state is ventral vagal, and this occurs when we feel safe, we feel connected, and open to relationships and learning. And you can tell if someone is in ventral vagal because their body and their breathing will be very relaxed. They will have a steady heartbeat, and they will be open to social engagement. But during the second state, our sympathetic nervous system kicks in, and we go into fight or flight. This state is activated when we sense danger or stress, and you will know if you are in fight or flight because your heart rate will increase. You will feel tension in your body, and you may feel some level of anxiety. You might also feel angry, frustrated, and defensive. And with the third state, dorsal vagal, this state occurs when we go into a freeze or shutdown mode. And this can happen when stress is just too overwhelming, and it could cause us to feel numb, exhausted, or emotionally disconnected. Out of these 3 states, we really want to try to give our child as many experiences as possible that support a ventral vagal state. Because if you think about it, when your child is in fight or flight, they are not able to listen to anything that you're saying or to connect with you emotionally. And that's because they're not feeling safe or secure. And the same thing goes for dorsal vagal as well. So the sympathetic state and dorsal vagal are not very conducive to creating a sense of safety and security. And to go even further with this concept, this is where we can really emphasize the language of your child's moon sign in order to set a secure emotional and relational foundation for your child. Let's begin with Capricorn. Capricorn is an earth sign, so logic and reason are emphasized. And with Capricorn, there's a psychological need for excellence, status, and achievement. And if you speak to these needs, you will give your child the sense of safety that they need, which can contribute to secure attachment. So you want to make sure that you implement a consistent routine for your child. Capricorn Moon children feel emotionally secure when their environment is predictable and stable. So regular routines for meals, for school, and bedtime give them a sense of control and peace. And when changes occur, prepare them in advance to ease any anxiety they may have. Visual schedules or calendars can help them to feel more in charge. They thrive when they know what's expected, and they can rely on you to be consistent. Also, make sure that you encourage emotional expression. These children often internalize their feelings and they may see vulnerability as weakness. So make space for quiet, judgment-free conversations where they can talk about their day and they can talk about their emotions. And teach them that expressing feelings is a strength. It's not a liability. Also, you want to help them to avoid emotional coldness. So don't assume that your Capricorn child doesn't need cuddles, encouraging words, or emotional check-ins just because they seem mature. It's also going to be really important for you to affirm your child's efforts and not just their results. Capricorn Moon children may tie their self-worth to achievement, so praising only outcomes can reinforce this pressure. Instead, tell them that you're proud of how hard they worked, even if they didn't succeed. This helps them to internalize that effort and character are going to matter more than perfection, and teach them that it's okay for them just to be a kid. Capricorn Moon children often feel like they need to act like a grown-up or take on responsibilities beyond their years. So create opportunities for them to play, to find some level of creativity and even silliness that remind them that it's safe to let go. And let them know that it's okay not to have all the answers or to be perfect. If they feel pressure to always be good or to always be mature, remind them that childhood is a time for joy and for making mistakes. You will help them bring balance to their inner world when you make room for fun. Next, we have Aries. Aries is a fire sign, so energy and passion are emphasized. And with Aries, there's a psychological need for independence, for freedom and action. And if you speak to these needs, you will give your child a sense of safety that they need, which can contribute to secure attachment. A child with an Aries moon is emotionally fiery, independent, and maybe even quick to react. Their instinct is to feel things first and then think later, which might lead to a burst of emotion that can surprise even them. But they really crave autonomy, they thrive on challenge, and they need the space to assert themselves. But they also deeply desire to feel safe and supported when their emotions may be overwhelming to them. So you want to support their need for independence. Aries Moon children want to do things on their own from a very early age. So give them opportunities to make choices, like picking out their own clothes or helping with small jobs around the house. When they say, "I can do it," try not to intervene unless there's a safety issue. This will help build their confidence and satisfy their need to assert themselves. And I know it's hard, but try to stay calm during emotional outbursts. These children can go from 0 to 60 emotionally with anger, frustration, and excitement. it can come on very quickly for them. So it's important that you, as the parent or the adult, you don't match their intensity with your own. Stay grounded and calm and help them to co-regulate by modeling how to slow down and breathe. And after the emotional storm passes, talk about what happened and offer tools for managing strong feelings. This will teach them that emotions are okay, but explosions must be handled with care. Along the same lines, you want to teach your Aries child to pause before acting. Aries Moon children tend to be very impulsive and they often act before they think. So use phrases like, let's pause and check in, or take a deep breath and count to 5. Practice this during calm times so that it's easier for them to access during heated moments. And teach them that speed is great in sports, but not always in decision making. And over time, they'll begin to build that crucial pause between feeling and doing. And remember to model assertiveness and not aggression. Aries children really need to learn the difference between standing up for themselves and bulldozing others. Teach them how to use strong but respectful communication, especially when they are setting boundaries. You can say things like, I'm feeling upset and I need a break, instead of shouting or shutting down. And when they see you handle anger or frustration with confidence and grace, they will begin to mirror that. Also, these children are often very physically active and they love challenges. So channel all of that action, all of that energy into sports, into games or timed races where they can push themselves and release some steam. Competitive activities help them build a sense of confidence and learn to win or lose with grace. Just remember not to overschedule them with too many activities. They really need time to rest too. But physical expression is the main way they will process their emotions. And up next, we have Cancer. Cancer is a water sign, so the emotions and intuition are very strong. And with Cancer, there's a psychological need for emotional security, for belonging, and for protection. A child with a Cancer moon is deeply sensitive, intuitive, and emotionally attuned to their environment, especially to their caregivers' moods. So you want to create emotional safety at home. Cancer moon children absorb the emotional tone of the household like a sponge, and they feel safest when home is calm, when it's loving, and when it's predictable. Avoid yelling or tension, because that can linger with them long after the moment passes. Create peaceful rituals like family dinners or cozy bedtime routines that really give them a sense of security. When they feel emotionally safe, they will blossom. Also, remember to validate their feelings. These kids often feel emotions very deeply, and they may cry easily or become withdrawn. Instead of minimizing their feelings, validate what they're going through, because validation is going to build trust and emotional intelligence. And let them know that it's okay to be sensitive, that it's not a weakness, but instead it's a gift. And it will be important for you to be a stable emotional anchor for your Cancer moon child. If you're calm and grounded, they will feel more at ease navigating their own emotions. But if you are upset, they may internalize it as their fault, even if it has nothing to do with them. You become their emotional compass by modeling regulation and vulnerability. And it will be so important to teach healthy boundaries with empathy. Because these children are naturally empathetic, they may struggle to separate their feelings from the feelings of others. So teach them that it's okay for them to say no or to take up space without being rude or unkind. Role play situations where they practice protecting their energy while remaining compassionate. And remind them that being kind includes being kind to themselves. Emotional boundaries will help them to avoid burnout and being overwhelmed. And it will be crucial for you to respect your child's intuitive nature. Cancer Moon children often sense things before they can articulate them. So if they say someone feels off or something doesn't feel right, take them seriously. Help them to name what they're picking up on, and this will strengthen their sense of trust in their intuition. Avoid dismissing their emotional hunches or labeling them as too sensitive. Your respect for their inner knowing will help them to trust their instincts as they grow. And last but not least, we have Libra. Libra is an air sign, so relationships and communication are going to be fundamental. And Libra has a psychological need for peace, for harmony, fairness, equality, and social connections through friendship. A child with a Libra moon is emotionally wired for connection, for harmony, for fairness, and they crave peace in their environment. And they're highly attuned to the moods of others, and they will often act as a peacemaker or a mediator if there's a disagreement. For this reason, you should encourage open and honest emotional expression. Libra moon children will often hide their real feelings to avoid upsetting others. So let them know it's okay if they speak up, even if it creates discomfort. Teach them that conflict doesn't mean loss of love, and it can actually build stronger relationships. You will also want to teach your child how to balance their need to please with self-advocacy. Parenting a Libra moon child means teaching them how to express their needs honestly and to stand up for themselves gently. These children may say yes when they really mean no, just to keep others happy. So practice role playing where they respectfully assert their needs or preferences. And teach them phrases like, "That doesn't feel right to me," or "I need a moment to think." And celebrate when they stand up for themselves, even in small ways. You're teaching them that self-respect and kindness can coexist. At home, create a peaceful and aesthetically pleasing environment for your Libra child. Libra moons are soothed by beauty, order, and gentle surroundings, so too much chaos, too much clutter, or harshness can make them feel emotionally unsettled. Let them help decorate or arrange their room to reflect their taste. A peaceful space will support their inner balance. And it's going to be very important for you to validate their sense of fairness and justice. Libra moon children are deeply concerned with what feels fair, and they can become upset by perceived imbalances. So when they speak up about fairness, take them seriously and ask questions to explore their feelings, and support their interest in compromise, and help them to understand that sometimes fairness looks different for everyone, but celebrate their desire to make things better for others. Their sensitivity to justice can become a strength with your support. Every child's moon sign holds the key to their inner world, and it represents their emotions, their security needs, and how they process love and connection. And whether you're raising a fiery Aries moon, a grounded Capricorn moon, a tender Cancer moon, or a harmony-seeking Libra moon, remember, your presence, your awareness, and your love are what truly shape their emotional foundation. Astrology doesn't box your child in. It really helps you to see them more clearly and to parent them intentionally and consciously. If this video gave you some aha moments or helpful tools, be sure to like, subscribe, and share it with another parent who'd love to hear this insight. And as always, trust your intuition. It's your child's first guide to feeling truly seen.